A visit to Vrancea. We traveled with our godparents to their summer home in Vrancea province, Romania. Vrancea is located in the northeastern section of Romania. Our godfather, Cornel, was driving, and you can see that Romania has many areas that are not developed and that are very rural, and you'll see here the use of even a horse and a carriage still in Romania today. We visited the monastery of St. Theodosia. You can see that it is located in an area surrounded by forests and hills and farmland. I got permission from the Mother Superior to film inside the church itself, which is a very traditional Orthodox worship space. There is an area off to the right here where the choir would sing the responses to the priest for the liturgy. There is a large iconostasis behind which the priest celebrates the liturgy of the Eucharist. There is an icon of Jesus, the Pantocrator, the All-Powerful. And then this particular church has something not always found in an Orthodox church: the casket of a saint. Saint Theodosia was the Patriarch of Moldova in the mid to late 17th century. He was executed by invading Turks, and his body was placed in a crypt below the grounds of a nearby monastery. When the communists took over, they suppressed veneration of his relics by placing a garbage dump over the spot where his body was known to have been. The Mother Superior of the monastery, after the communists fell, eventually dug out the entire landfill and was able to rediscover the body, and the body was then placed in a church built on the spot. The relics of St. Theodosia are dressed in his patriarchal liturgical garments, and there is a small circular area where his skull is exposed for people to kiss and venerate the saint. At a gift shop of the monastery, we were able to purchase prayer cards of St. Theodosia and other icons. The area of Vrancea is particularly well known for the making of wine and also the traditional Romanian liquor țuică, made from plums. And the sisters of the monastery produce wine and țuică in order to sell at the monastery. And so, in addition to the other items we purchased at the gift shop, we bought red wine and enough țuică to last us 3 years in Romania. Open to the public is also the crypt where the body of the saint had laid interred before its rediscovery following the fall of communism. We descend down these stairs and we emerge into a small chapel that existed there.
O să fac băieții și a zis vin o maică la 10 noaptea că la aia a găsit capul ăluia. Deci aici a fost găsit Sfântul Teodosie.
The icons on this wall date to the time of St. Theodosia, approximately the late 1600s. Next, we visited the monastery of St. John the Baptist. Surrounding this monastery, as far as the eye can see, are grapes planted for the use of the monastery in the making of wine. This monastery had a particularly nice cultivated flower garden beside it.
Și seara e așa frumos, dă și un parfum așa. Cel mai frumos parfum e de regina noastră. Dimineața se închid. Mai este și o...
On the grounds of the monastery is the foundation of a 17th century church, which the nuns have turned into a flower garden. We attended liturgy the following morning at the Church of St. Michael and Gabriel Archangels for the occasion of Metropolitan Epiphania sanctifying that church following a major renovation there. You can see there the long pole that he will be using. It has holy oil on the tip, and he will use it to anoint the outer walls of the church. While the Metropolitan and his entourage were outside blessing the walls of the church, I took the opportunity to film inside. You see here the very large iconostasis, the walls completely covered with icons. Here is the episcopal chair of Metropolitan Epiphania, since every church of his diocese technically belongs to him. Before the days of microphones, this podium would have been used to preach the sermon so that the people could hear. After the Metropolitan has finished blessing the outer walls of the church, he approaches the now closed doors of the church, where the pastor on the inside hears him knock and then says 3 times, "Who is this King of Glory?" The Metropolitan then enters, symbolizing Jesus, who comes to take possession of the church. Because of the size of the crowd, the Metropolitan decided to hold the liturgy at an outdoor chapel. Unfortunately, it continued to rain for the entire duration of the liturgy. Here Metropolitan Epiphania receives the elements about to be consecrated for the Eucharist and will pray for Daniel, the Patriarch of all Romania.
Fericitul Părintele nostru Daniel, Patriarhul României, să-L pomenească Domnul Dumnezeu într-o împărăția sa. Amin.
And as the liturgy comes to a close, it is raining even harder. Later that afternoon, we drove back to Bucharest, and here is one final look at the beautiful area of Vrancea.